Hi everyone, I'm Matt Gash with SoundersFC.com here at Starfire, and over the last 2 years, the Sounders have had a lot of success in MLS play. While Casey Keller and Freddie Montero may grab all the headlines for that success, there's been a lot of unsung heroes behind the scenes for the Sounders FC. Randy Notaboom is the team's head trainer. He's ably assisted by Chris Cornish, who often refers to himself as a physio, though nobody's really sure what that means. Along with a pair of interns, Randy and Chris mend injuries, both of body and mind.
I usually go see Randy for my my psychological wounds and injuries. You know, he's not only great in the physical aspect, but is experienced enough in the ways of the mind, whether it's anything emotional, whether it's love, whether it's just having a bad day. Randy would be the first guy that I would go to see when something like that comes up.
They're just great guys all around, but Randy, watching him try to kick a soccer ball or run, how both kids are athletic, it'll be beyond me. They must get it from his wife, because he is the most unathletic person around athletics I've ever seen, probably. But, he gets the job done, and he's, one of the most knowledgeable guys when it comes to, medical terms and things like that. He knows his stuff, but as far as being athletic, he's not even close to being athletic.
Well, they're really not athletic trainers. I don't know if you know that. They're just out here kicking soccer balls, and they really don't have experience in the field, to be quite honest with you. So Brad and I have been kind of standing around for about 6 months now, wondering when they're going to start doing work. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, but we'll look for some support elsewhere, to people who know what they're talking about.
Nolan Meyer and Brett Johnson help the team with all of their equipment needs.
What equipment, guys?
Brett and Nolan, those guys.
Do they work for our team?
I think so.
Oh.
I think they're on payroll at least.
I'll have to look into that. I haven't seen any Brett or Nolan for quite some time now.
Nolan I don't see. I'm not even sure if he's on our training staff or not, because he's, just in the shadows constantly. PBB is just, he's a night owl, so when he comes to practice, you can tell that he's done something the night before, that's for sure. And why he has a locker in our locker room, I'll never understand, but he thinks he's one of the players, which, that's funny in its own right, for sure. But, to say the least, he puts on the gloves and he gets out here and, he has fun, and he's just hanging on to that last bit of thread, so that's probably the funniest part.
Just all great dudes. You walk into the locker room and it's, just, a smile on the face and, hey, how you doing? Talking about fantasy football or sports or, whatever. It's just like, it's nice coming into the locker room with, to see friendly faces, and those are, definitely guys that, provide that kind of atmosphere. Not to mention all the stuff that they do to keep this team together, equipment-wise. Without them, I don't know, I don't know where we would be. I probably wouldn't be playing with any pants on, and that'd be a problem.
Helping out with both groups is the team's massage therapist, Delaney Farmer.
Delaney does more than just massage. He's helping out in other ways, obviously on the field with the water, and he provides some comedy as well. He's kind of like Randy, not the most athletic guy in the world, but he's getting better. He puts in the effort, kind of like Taylor as well. He just wants to be around soccer, so that's the most important thing for us.
I haven't had a whole lot of experience with Delaney. I haven't had haven't been fortunate enough to have been massaged by his soft and generous hands. I have seen others and have talked to others, about it. James Riley is one that, I see on Delaney's table a lot. I'm not sure whether he likes the massage or he just likes hanging out with Delaney.
No, I just take care of myself on and off the field, so I try to get on the massage table whenever I can.
The staff wanted to work with the Sounders for many reasons, some to advance their burgeoning careers in the field of athletics, and others, well, some think they may still have a shot at a roster spot.
Yeah, Cornish is kind of like PBB. He's still hanging on for that last bit of hope. Our roster's expanding next year, so I think he still thinks that there's a chance for him to be a trainer and hopefully participate in practice, but I'll be the first one to tell him that it's not going to happen.
So when you think about the U.S. Open Cup titles over the last 2 years and all the successes of the Sounders FC, think about the amazing saves, think about the great goals, think about the incredible atmosphere. But also remember the unsung heroes of the Sounders FC. I'm Matt Gash. Thanks for joining us.
Casey, what are you doing out here, buddy? Practice is over. I'm just grabbing some rays so I don't burn when we take that sweet Mexican Riviera cruise in January.
Oh, you're right, man. I can't wait to hang out with the fans. Check out Cabo, Mazatlan, and do some cool Holland America excursion.
Exactly. So grab a chair, grab some rays with me. Towels up, Sounders fans, towels up.